Everybody, welcome back to Andertons TV. It is 2021, just in case the last 3 months have passed you by. Everybody's got new toys, and today is no different. So Chapman have released a new HSS Super Strat style guitar. They're calling it the ML1 Hybrid. And it's coming out of the Pro Series, which is the ones with the lighter coloured roasted maple necks. And it's also coming out the Standard Series, which have got the darker colour roasted necks.
And
so,
Lee, if Rob was here right now, he would ask you to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these shenanigans.
Because you don't want to miss a thing.
No, exactly.
According to Aerosmith. Anyway, right, so let's quickly go over the spec of the Pro Series model, and then we'll do the Standard Series afterwards.
I almost put my own eye out with that.
ML1 is Chapman's kind of mainstay Super Strat design. It's this particular one is a slab top Super Strat design. Other ones in the range have got arch tops. You've got the sort of the recessed heel here and a pretty traditional sort of Super Strat style body. So spoon cut on the front and back of the lower bout. Nice bit of binding, nice kind of curved carvedy bit here, but pretty traditional stuff. Oh, you like the recessed?
No, this is definitely
Rob thing, isn't it?
Rabir and Rob.
Was it Rabir mainly?
They absolutely love
They don't like it when the back plate sticks up a bit.
My thing with that is I just take them off. I wouldn't take this off, but this one I'll just take off because I need to get in there.
Hey ho. Anyway, so what's good on here that we've not seen on a Chapman before? We'll start with the trem system.
Yes. Very exciting.
I'm not entirely sure I've seen this style of trem system ever before, but it feels to me it's almost like a pseudo Floyd Rosey thing, because it looks like a two pivot style, sort of relatively vintage style trem. A little bit closer though, and we'll hopefully get a sweep over here. The strings actually go over a roller as it goes over the saddle, so you've got like less friction as it goes over the roller.
Little wheels.
And it has way more back bend, almost like a Floyd Rose amount of
back bend.
That's a lot. That? That's like, I don't know, it's almost like 2 tones, 2.5 tones almost back bend.
It's
1.5?
2.5. 1, 2, 3. 3 half notes.
This is Pete and I trying to work out fractions.
Yeah, what day is it today? I've got no idea.
And of course, you know, you can bend back the other way. To help with the tuning, you've got like a Graphtec nut up here and hip shot locking tuners on the back. So that's kind of nice and pretty sort of pro featured. Yeah, they look lovely, don't they?
Yeah, they're good.
Down here doing the business is the USA Seymour Duncan range. That's pretty much all the Chapman Pro Series now have Seymour Duncan USA pickups. In this particular model, we have a pearly gates at the back, so kind of pretty classic, but a little bit hotter maybe humbucking pickup. And then what I like as well are some stacked single coils. That's a design that I don't know if other brands do. Seymour Duncan, certainly I've had stacked Seymour Duncans on Strats going back years of mine, but it's where there's a dummy coil that sits behind the regular single coil to make it hum cancelling.
Like this?
Yeah. So that's hum cancelling on a humbucker.
There's two gains pedals into each other.
That's great. So you'd normally, obviously, if you're used to single coil pickups, you get a lot more hum there. So that's those, and Pete will give you some tones. Volume and tone, no coil tapping or anything like this. 5-way blade, a pretty traditional feeling C-shaped neck, but a little flatter radius than you'd get on a Strat.
Yeah,
so 12-inch radius. Yeah. And stainless steel frets. Glow in the dark, jumbo stainless steel frets, glow in the dark side markers, and just the standard 12th fret inlay here. Two colours, this sort of turquoise burl top, or the more sort of red burst flame top.
Can't remember what these are called, but we'll put it on
I want to say Phoenix something.
Phoenix Sun
turquoise something else or something. Anyway, look, these are about 800, 850, something like that, pounds in money.
Pounds in money?
And came out, just at the beginning of 2021. So do you want to give us some
I can certainly give some tones
there, Mr. P?
It's definitely got this hum cancelling kind of sound.
A guitar to me.
It sounds like a guitar. It sounds like hey, I plugged the guitar and I'll put it on the neck pickup. So what is this? This is the hot one here.
That's good shout, well remembered.
Because there's a hot and a classic, right?
Classic,
classic in the neck.
And vintage hot in the middle.
Vintage hot, that's it, yeah. Yes. Which I think when we talked about this last time, I thought I would probably swap them around for some reason.
You can do that if you want to.
I would like a bit of a hot vintage in my neck. So here's the two pickups together, so position 4.
I like the trem system on this, I really do.
It's a really nice trem system with these little rolling wheels. And here's the middle position, the vintage hot.
I like that.
That's it. I mean, it probably needs a bit of gain, you know. But it's nice. Here's the pearly gates and the vintage hot. That's definitely got some.
Yeah, it's balls. Wants to go.
Definitely makes it. Here's the pearly gates on its own. Oof.
It's a good sound.
Yeah, that's a great sound. This would be like this. Let's do a bit of Dane.
I need to go on the Seymour Duncan website, because I'm so used to, on this kind of guitar, seeing something like a JB at the bridge.
Yeah.
But I feel like this sounds like it's got a little bit more bass end to it than a JB.
Maybe.
I might be wrong. I have to look on the Seymour Duncan website.
Yeah, and you can't really... I mean, I go on the website and you look at, you know, and then you go, let me hear what that sounds like. And you go, oh, that's interesting. And then if you get a pickup and put it in your guitar, it doesn't sound anything like it. So I think that you have to take with a grain of salt.
I always think buying pickups is the hardest thing ever, because you're completely right. It's just a leap of faith.
It is.
You know, you can hear a pickup on a Seymour Duncan website or any website, and it's in one guitar into a different amplifier with a different guitar player
with a different pedals.
Until you, I suppose the only thing that probably is fairly consistent is just output. So you know if you want lower output or higher output.
But is it though? Is it though? Because there's always it depends on what wires you use and what pots you use.
I agree.
And so I think if somebody goes, oh, this is my absolute favorite pickup, you know, then
it's a shame in a way that pickups can't be sort of demoed like pedals just by plugging them in, isn't it?
Well, some people have done where you can put them, but
still,
I mean, that's
a pain in the bum, isn't
the one that turns around, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get like 4 or 5 pickups in one or whatever. Anyway, here's a bit of Dane on a low gain setting on the Pearly Gate. That's a great rock sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's the two ones together. Here's the middle. This is all low gain, by the way. It's funny with stacked humbuckers, stacked single coils always got more of a humbucking kind of sound, in my humble opinion.
Well, I've got them on my Clapton. The 2 Strats that I put the Clapton mid-boost circuit in, I put the stacked single coils in. Because how much noise the mid-boost circuit makes. And I would say with the mid-boost circuit rolled off, I would say they're just like darker sounding single coils rather than humbuckery.
That is kind of they haven't
got that proper spank on the top end. It'll be interesting because these on the standard where it's just normal single coils, you will hear the slightly brighter spank on those. But
these two together. So it's not as banky as I would expect, and here's the neck.
Good playing, Mr.
Always, thank you, but always for me, the stainless steel frets, but we're not going to go there. Anyway, so here's a little bit more gain with the Dane into the Thorpe, into the gun shop from Thorpe. And here is the two together. Two together. And the neck position. Something like that. A little horsey there at the end. You know what's a really good looking guitar, Lee, I think.
I like him.
I think this top is wonderful.
Anyway, that's the Pro Series made in Korea. Okay, so now we've jumped over to the standard range. This is the range that comes out of Indonesia for Chapman. A lot of the features are similar. So we've got this sort of flat top with the arm curve here. The spoon cuts on this lower horn are the same. Spoon. Couple of the colours are different, as you can see. This one's always been popular in the Chapman range, that kind of dipped vibe.
Dip. I like that.
You've got the grey with the quilt top here. You've got the sort of red with the flame top, or that sort of blue into purple. Some of the differences, though, it's got a slightly more conventional trem, so still a 2-pivot sort of slightly more modern trem, not a vintage trem, but there's no back cut on the guitar, so it literally hits the body as you pull back, so you're only going to get like a semitone out of this in terms of uplift.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, it's like a normal Strat. Yeah. These are now Chapman own brand pickups rather than the Seymour Duncan American ones. Neck feels very similar. You can see how different factories approach the way they roast the maple. So obviously the Pro Series goes for a relatively light roast. This factory goes for a much sort of heavier, darker roast. Normal enclosed tuners, nickel frets now rather than stainless steel frets. But the whole lot, you know, really, really nice feeling guitar. Lovely, lovely necks on these, and about £500 now money-wise.
That is incredible value for money. And the neck feels, I mean, it's a satin finish neck again. It feels slightly chunkier by not very much, but maybe a tiny little bit. You still got that rolled. I mean, it's one of the best, you know, necks I've felt in this price point, because there's no sharp frets on here or anything. And also, it's got nickel frets, which I know a lot of you don't like. I personally prefer it.
It's not that people don't like them. It's that I think the consensus is nickel frets are what have been used on guitars forever.
Yeah.
And over the last, I want to say 10 years, it might be a bit longer than that, but some people have been using stainless steel frets, which are typically a harder wearing fret, so you can kind of understand from a longevity point of view why it might be an upgrade, but they do have a slightly different feel, and so that'll just be a preference thing. Your preference is nickel. Lots of players' preference will be stainless steel. For me personally, I end up, until somebody points it out on the guitar, I tend not to even notice. So there's obviously like 3 gradients of whether you're into it or not.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But let's have some tones. So again, we're back into the DP40 here. Here's the neck pickup, and this is a G chord. And immediately you can see that it's a more bright guitar, so the pickups are definitely brighter because they are single coil, not stacked, right?
Yes.
I think that's where you get it from. So basically, so here is the these two pickups together, and this is of course the test.
Do it.
Don't do that, kids. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's certainly spankier feeling with the single coil. Middle.
You are the Salt Bae of the guitar. I like when you strum and you get into it, you go.
It's only it's different, man. It's
to get in some little glasses, don't we? And draw a goatee on, and then it's
I can just shave the rest of it and then still have it. I mean, these two together now,
that's
by the
a
way.
lot of guitar for the money, isn't it?
It's a lot of guitar for the money, and for that price, you can, you know, if you don't necessarily like the way the pickups are slightly different, you can get almost a set. Then you've got the same price almost, haven't you?
Well, I think we were talking about this just before we started filming, sort of going, it's kind of interesting is if you take this guitar and you do just change the pickups and maybe change the tuners, some locking tuners or something, you just end up with the price of this guitar anyway. So to a certain degree, you might as well buy that in the first place. But
unless you like the visual.
I mean, I like the. Like we were talking about, you know, what do you get for £500? And I suppose that kind of market is pretty dominated by things like Fender Player. So certainly if you want something much more traditional than this. But once you get into the super stratty thing, I think that's where Chapman kind of gets into its stride a bit because, you know, I mean, obviously you've got plenty of Jacksons and Ibanez's and stuff at this kind of price point. But typically you're always paying a little bit more for the brand name maybe with those guitars. So
I think
maybe get a little bit more value here. But hey ho.
Hey ho. Okay, so here is the bridge pickup. This is definitely much more potent, which is great. Fatter, a little bit of gain. And here is the two together. A bit more gain. Middle position. These two together. Don't play the nose there, young man. See, I'm much more at home with these nickel frets.
So.
Here is the middle position with gain. These two together. Very fat, aren't they?
They're really fat.
Here's the neck position. Don't play that note. Sorry. That's a little lick for you at home.
I tell you who I did see on the tube, not the London Underground, I'm talking about the YouTube.
Oh.
Rob sent me a video to a new Japanese artist that has started playing Chapman recently, and I think he's got that exact guitar, or maybe he's got the Telecaster, sorry, I'll tell that, or maybe he's got the ML3 version of that, I forget. But he was shredding like a mother. Apparently, like he's like Steve Vai and Satriani will follow him or something like that. But some crazy talent around the world.
Absolutely. So there we go, Lee. That's a pretty cool guitar for 500-ish quid.
Yeah, is it 5 or 549 or something like that? But anyway, so that's the standard series. Yes. They're the Pro series. Links will be below. They are in the shops now. Check them out. And that's it. Pete and I will see you at some point later in 2021, maybe even 2022. Who knows how much longer we can keep going.